Your first look at high school football scores and highlights. This is First Down Friday Night with the WZDX Sports Team. Sponsored by Steak and Shake and Kennedy & Sons Structural Solutions.
And so it begins a new season of First Down Friday Night. Mo Carter and Charity Chambers in the building are ready to bring you some great action from the gridiron around the Tennessee Valley.
Yeah, some football fans are saying that this is week 1. Others are calling it week 0, but we're just going to call it kickoff week here on WZDX. So let's go ahead and get right to the action.
Absolutely. Bob Jones always plays a strong opening week opponent. Tonight they hosted Christian Brothers of Memphis, Tennessee. And this was a really, really good one. After Bob Jones threw a pick in the red zone, the Purple Wave went to work early on. Owen Brody is their quarterback. Watch him throw it way down the field, and it is caught by Antonio Lay deep inside of Patriots territory. That would lead to this. Al Wooten II, he takes the handoff and he finds pay dirt for a touchdown. Christian Brothers goes up on top 7-3. Now late in the second, Bob Jones trying to move it down the field, but they find no luck. Caden Rose, the coach's son, throws an interception, and that is going the other way by number 16. Unfortunately, he was not on the roster, so we can't give him no props name-wise. But hey, guess what? Very next play, we have another turnover. Turnover was the name of the game. Owen Brody finds the man in the flats, but guess what? He fumbles. Tobias Clark will come up with a recovery on the 5-yard line. The Patriots would cash in. A 95-yard drive is capped off by this. Caden Rose, the John Riley touchdown, everybody. They were tied at 10 apiece at the break. Let's check out your final score. Bob Jones wins it in a walk-off. They literally win the game with less than 2 seconds to go.
Wow. Final
score 17-16. You got to love that one, right, Charity?
Yes, great matchup.
Absolutely. All right, speaking of traveling, let's take you down to Montgomery. James Clemens taking on Talia Tagovailoa and Thompson down in the Champions Challenge. Of course, there's Coach Wade Wardrop and Talia Tagovailoa, there he is right there. If you don't know, that's Tua's little brother. This guy wasted no time going to work. Watch this as he fires a touchdown pass down the field to Michael Petway for a touchdown. That puts Thompson up 7-0. Later on, it is 14-0. And Tagovailoa was not done, everyone. He goes up top, and guess who we will find, Charity? Yeah, it's Petway once again, wide open, and he is gone. See you later right there. Check out these stat lines. Tagovailoa, 385 passing yards and 4 touchdowns in the day. Coach Woodruff's like, what is going on? Now, late in the half, it's 28-0. Jamil Muhammad finally gets something going for the James Clemens. Just watch him just avoid tacklers and then finds Austin McGee streaking across the middle, and he will find pay dirt for the touchdown. Jamil had 242 on the day with that touchdown. Just were down 28-7 at the break. Let's check out your final score. Thompson takes down James Clemens by a final of 38-7. Next week, James Clemens will host Clay Chalkville.
There are a lot of Bama fans kind of happy to see that, Mo.
Absolutely.
The Buckhorn Bucks and Madison County Tigers have met a number of times on the gridiron as preseason opponents, but tonight they squared off in the regular season for the first time since 2003. This game was neck and neck, and at the half, the score was tied 7-7. At the start of the third, Buckhorn is kicking off. Madison's County Emmanuel Fletcher with the catch. He runs to his right. Some great blocking by the Tigers there, and he's hauling it. He will get a good amount of yardage before being brought down. But guys, wait, there's a flag on the play. Sadly, this was going to be called back, but what a momentum killer for the Tigers.
Gotta hate those flags.
Yes, you do. They're still going to try to make something happen, though. Austin Mills, he throws it deep to Tyler Hunt, who couldn't come up with the catch. Tigers force a punt. Buckhorn with the ball now, and they are charging down the field. They're sticking to the run game. A good one there by Dolphus Harris. And the Bucks, they would go ahead and hand it off to him again. He gets about 8 yards on this play, just shy of the first down, but the Bucks would go on to score a field goal off of this drive, giving them a 10-7 lead. And let's take a look at the final score. Buckhorn would end up on top 17-7. Next week, Madison County hosts Westminster Christian, and Buckhorn hosts Florence. And over now to Falkville, they're taking on Danville at home. The Blue Devils, they're not messing around. Look at them getting hyped up before the game. All right, for Skirter, the Blue Devils' Aaron Doe makes the pass to Noah Holmes. And look at him. He's just going to walk it right into the end zone for a Falkville touchdown. Too easy. He can't make it that easy for him. Still in the first, Falkville, they are with the ball again. This time, Dub. He hands it off to Fred Walls for some action. Walls, he runs it into the end zone as well for another touchdown, putting the Blue Devils up 14-0. Next possession, the Hawks with the ball. And watch this. Oh, no. Bryson Templeton fumbles the snap, and it's James Gardner coming in clutch and getting the turnover, making it the Blue Devils' ball. And, of course, giving them the ball. They're going to capitalize on it. Dub letting everyone get in on the action tonight. This time, he lobs it up to Michael Elliott for the score, 21-0. And a final score in that game, Falkville 54, Danville 7. Next week, Falkville travels to Vinemont. Danville hosts Brewer.
All right, at Milton Frank Stadium, it was the ETV game of the week between Mae Jemison and Gardendale. Early on, Gardendale, the Rockets. Pretty good name when you come here to the city of Huntsville. Their quarterback fires a great pass, and watch the great catch by John Belcher right there on the sideline.
Whoa.
2 feet in. That would even count in the NFL. Later on, Crowder hands it off to Jason Brooks for a score, and the Rockets take a 10-0 lead. But back comes the Jemison Jaguars. Damon Eason running the option, and then he finds a lane, and he is off to the races at the 30, at the 20, at the 10. He's pulled down inside the 5-yard line, but first and goal for the Jaguars coming up. Later on, it's Easton handing it off to Divine Beebe for a Jaguars touchdown. They cut the lead down. It's now 10-7. But here comes the Rockets of Gardendale. Jacob Wright gets the touchdown in the end zone right before the half. Let's check out your final score on this one. Gardendale will knock off Mae Jemison by final score of 38-21. Next week, Mae Jemison will take on the Huntsville Panthers. Now, of course, don't forget that WZDX, the sports team, is on social media. Follow us on Twitter at Mo Carter WZDX, at Charity WZDX, and of course, we can't forget about Kayla Carlisle, Kayla WZDX.
Yeah, and we are just getting started on the debut episode of First Down Friday night. When we return, we head west for some action from the Huntsville Shoals area. Those games are coming up next.
Welcome back to First Down Friday night, the kickoff edition. It's time for our Spirit of the Week, which is brought to you by Steak and Shake. Of course, they've done a real good job feeding our crew tonight, Charity.
They really have. I can't wait to chow down on this. Now, this week, the Spirit of the Week goes to Lauderdale County.
All right, let's tell you about Lauderdale County. Of course, they are the Marching Tigers band. This unit is under the direction of Sarah Hurst. This season, the Tigers will participate in various competitions like the ones at Aniata and Scottsboro and probably at UNA's as well. So once again, big shout out to the Tiger Band at Lauderdale County for representing as our first Spirit of the Week band for the 2018 season.
Yeah, and there are multiple matchups in the Shoals area on Thursday, and Kayla Carlisle caught a few of them.
Absolutely. Check out a report while we enjoy some of these Steak and Shake goodies here on the set.
Well, let's go ahead and get things kicked off with Cherokee at RA Hubbard. This game, let me tell you, it started off with a bang. The Chiefs returned the opening kickoff for 60 yards. That's right, 60 yards. Let's go ahead and show you what happened right after that play, though. So we're in the first drive of the game, but it's RA Hubbard with the ball. Brett Mason takes the snap and tosses it to Riley Evans, but he gets tripped up and boom, Bronson Harris smacks him down. That could not have felt good, but that doesn't slow down the Chiefs. This time Mason's going to toss the ball to Montoya Kellogg straight into the end zone. The Chiefs put 6 up on the board. Still in the first quarter now, R.A. Hubbard in possession. Mason passes to Kellogg again, but he tips the ball, and it's Robert Fuquay in the right place at the right time. He picks it off and runs, but unfortunately he's taken down, and the Indians don't capitalize this time. Fast forward to the second quarter now. The Indians now have possession again. Quarterback Trey LaFond decides to call his own number this time, and he runs it straight up the middle, tying up the game 6-6. But unfortunately, the Indians just couldn't hold off the Chiefs. They fall to R.A. Hubbard 22-26. But moving it over now to Brooks at Lauderdale County. Now this matchup wasn't what the Tigers were expecting. We're going to throw it into the third quarter now, and Brooks is up 34-0. Christopher Spurgeon hands off to Noah Turbeville, and he breaks away, and he's out of here. Check out the speed. He makes it all the way to the end zone. The Lions go up 41-0. Still in the third quarter, Lauderdale County with the ball now. Michael Brown goes for the pass to Byron Hall, but Turbeville is the one who picks it off, and he takes it home for another Lions TD, and they go up 48-0. Now the final score of that game ended up being 55-0 Brooks. Next week they host Hartselle, and then Lauderdale County goes on the road against Randolph. But that's all I've got for you guys right now, so I'm going to go ahead and send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that, Kayla. Wilson and Sheffield have met on the gridiron 20 times. Sheffield leads the series 14-6, but the Warriors have won 2 in a row over the Bulldogs, including a 27-0 win last season. But who would come on top in last night's matchup? Let's take a look. Starting off in the first quarter, Wilson with the ball. Warriors trying to find a man open down the field, but instead A.J. Cherry comes up with the pick. He takes it back a few yards before being brought down. Bulldogs, they would go on to capitalize on that and kick a field goal. They lead 3-0. Still in the first quarter now, Sheffield, they are with the ball, and Corey Bowling, he hands it off to Thaddeus Hampton, Some great blocking there. He gets to the outside, and there is no stopping him now. He takes it all the way to the house.
It would have been great if he would have chucked up the deuces since he's number 2.
You know, you got to. Extra point would be no good, though. Bulldogs up 9-0. Second quarter, same score. Sheffield in the red zone bowling. Hands it to DeAndre Johnson. He finds his way in for the score. Extra point would be good. Wilson would not be able to come back. Sheffield takes down Wilson by a final score of 22-6. Next week, Sheffield takes on Mars Hill. Wilson faces Colbert Heights. And right down the road, Muscle Shoals and Deshler squared off. And let me just start off by saying this one, well, it wasn't even close. Muscle Shoals on top 24-0 at the half. Trojans starting off the third quarter with the ball, and they're charging down the field. Jacob Bishop with the fake. He throws it up to Luke Horsbury, who's juking and diving before he's brought down. Same drive now. This time, Bishop hands it to Kevon Hankins. He's celebrating his 17th birthday in style. He had quite a night. Actually had an 83-yard touchdown run earlier in that game. Trojans in the red zone now. Bishop rolls left. He finds a wide open Tanner Wade in the end zone for the score. A 64-yard, 9-play drive for the Trojans. And let's take a look at that final score. Muscle Shoals, they win big by a final of 31-0. Next week, the Trojans travel to Georgia to face Chaminade Prep. Deshler travels to Russellville.
More high school football action is coming your way next here on First Down Friday night. We'll check in with the Austin Black Bears. They took on an old foe on the road this evening down I-65. Stay tuned for those highlights, which are coming up next.
Now back to the action on First Down Friday night.
Welcome back. In 2017, the Austin Black Bears were the #1 team in Class 6A for a majority of the year.
Absolutely. It was great to see their run, but their season ended in the quarterfinals with an overtime loss to eventual state champion Pinson Valley. Now, tonight, a new journey in Class 7A began as they traveled to Hartselle to take on an old league foe. Let's take you down there for all the action. It's 14-7 with 15 seconds left till the half. Black Bears ball. Third down, Cullen Hubbard passes it to Jabari Brown. He gets it, but guess what? He coughs it up. He must be sick with this fumble right here. Addison Parker will take him down. Now, that forces Austin to go for a field goal. Zion Bell kicks it. It goes up. And it is good. But Hartselle still leads 14-10 at the break. Let's go to the third quarter now. Black Bears. Hubbard, he's got the ball. He passes to Thylan Williams, but the Tigers defense stops him in his tracks. Next play, Hubbard thinking about where he's going to go. He decides to go for the long ball to Jaden Grissom, and this was a very nice decision. He takes it all the way to the end zone. Austin takes the lead of 17-14. Let's check out your final, everyone, as Hartselle comes back to beat Austin by a final of 24-17. Next week, Austin hosts arch rival Decatur. Hartselle will head over to Brooks.
And over in Decatur, Oakle Stadium has some new turf, and the first game played on it featured the Decatur Red Raiders and the Huntsville Panthers.
Yesterday.
Yeah, first offensive play for Huntsville. Stoney Patton takes the handoff, but watch this. Tyler Troop punches it out. The ball is loose. Who would get on top of it? It's Patrick Rero for the Red Raiders. He recovers. Decatur takes over. Fans are happy about that. 2 plays later, the Red Raiders find paydirt Trent Duper. He's flushed out and fires a nice pass to the end zone to Jacoby Chapman for a touchdown. Decatur, they go on top 7-0.
I like that number 21. You know, I rocked it in college.
I gotta love it. But the Panthers, they haven't answered. They cap off a 76-yard drive with a field goal thanks to Paul Fiore. Huntsville down 7-3 now. Head coach Mark Fleetwood, he is looking on. The Red Raiders, well, they're just making it look too easy now. Duper, he goes up top to Cameron Morrison for a 37-yard touchdown. That puts Decatur up 14-3 over Huntsville. Decatur took the lead into halftime, and they never looked back. Final score in that game, Decatur taking down Huntsville by a final of 38-21. Next week, the Red Raiders take on arch rival Austin. Should be a great matchup. Huntsville, they will face Mae Jemison.
How about another Thursday night flashback? Smitty Grider making his debut with Hazel Green as they took on Grissom yesterday at Newton Frank Stadium. Check this out. Elijah Juan Houston Harris. He is stuffed in the backfield by Hazel Green's Courtney Howard. Now later on, there is a bad snap for Grissom, and Hazel Green's Don Shackelford comes up with the sack. Grissom's defense, though, they would answer the call. They would stop Hazel Green and force the Trojans for a field goal. It goes up, but that thing is short, and it is no good on that one, so we are still scoreless. Grissom finally gets the gears churning thanks to this guy, Mel Deshler, a former First Down Friday night MVP of the week, the UT Chattanooga commit. willing Grissom down the field, and then he finds pay dirt right here to put Grissom up 6-0 at the break. Exciting second half in this one. Grissom holds them off, winning 26-21. Mae Jemison had 4 touchdowns in the game. Next week, it'll be Grissom and Lee, while Hazel Green will play host to Sparkman.
Well, tonight at Milton Frank Stadium, we have a shout out from the Lee cheerleaders. We love you too.
We love you too, girls.
Yeah, Lee took on Crosstown and Columbia. First half was all Columbia. They chewed up 13 minutes of the clock. The help of this guy, Jamarion Gilmore. When he got the ball, he was moving at nothing but forward. Golden Eagles got as far as the 2-yard line, and then several penalties, and then this huge sack of Cameron Lopez.
You got to throw it away, man.
You have to. No goal for the Eagles. 6 minutes into the second quarter. This huge play for the Lee Generals. Noah Watkins throws it up just over our Cameron into the arms of Avarius Lewis. He brings it in for 6. The point after was no good, but the dance team is still full of the general spirit. And let's take a look at your final score. Lee 34, Columbia 6. Next week, Lee takes on Grissom. Columbia heads to Albertville.
When we come back, we're taking you out to Athens for some more high school football action as the Golden Eagles took on LaRon White and the Sparkman Senators. Stay tuned for that next.
Now, more scores and highlights from across the valley on First Down Friday night.
Hey, we're in the final stretch of First Down Friday night, and of course, we've got more action from out the way, so let's take you out to Athens High School. They were taking on the Sparkman Senators. Now, of course, Athens begins the game passing, running, and doing a lot of things thanks to their quarterback, Logan Smothers. He throws it out into the flats right here to his man. Big tackle by the Senators defense. Now, it's Smothers once again handing it off to his running back. That's number 20, LaCadrian Boykin, and he picks up some good yardage here. Now, Smothers rolling out to the left, then he's going to slip a few tackles, and you know what? He's just going to call his own number and picks up some really good yardage for a first down on that one, but that drive will stall. Now, the Senators with the ball. They hand it off to their running back. It's big number 22, Adrian Reedus. He'll get a few yards right there. Now, quarterback, it's number 8, Jacob Medlin. He tries to go deep, and he has a man right there. Very, very nice catch. But then this will happen here. It's Medlin. He is intercepted by Takorian Porter, and he is making a house call right here on the pick 6 right there. Touchdown, everybody, for the Athens Golden Eagles. And at that point, it looked like Athens was going to go ahead and win, but it looks like Sparkman comes back and beats the Athens Golden Eagles by a final score of 30-21.
And over now to Woodville, where the Panthers are taking on the Waterloo Cougars. We're going to get things started in the first quarter. Cougars are with the ball. Bryce Palmer, he hands it off to Jaden Beasley, and look at him go. He turns on the Jets. No one's going to catch him. He runs it in for 6. Extra point would be good.
So it's number 6 for 6?
6 for 6. Nice. I like that. Still the first, Waterloo driving down the field. This time Palmer throws one across the field to Hayden Hesser. He cuts it back inside. Look at him making it look pretty easy. Cougars would miss the extra point, but they're up 13-0. Woodville, they are trying to get on the board now. Jackson Peaks hands it off to Davion Johnson. He hits the outside. Look at him fighting for extra yardage. Panthers would actually run the same exact play a couple more times to get them down the field, which would lead them to this. Peak calling his own number on this one. He runs it in for the score. Barely made it in. Panthers finally get on the board 13-7. Final score in that game, Waterloo beats Woodville 47-7. Next week, Woodville travels to Pisgah.
All right, let's take a look at some other scores from around the area. West Limestone defeated Tanner last night, 39-20. Look at this score at the bottom. St. John Paul beats Locust Fork. Technically, this is 2 wins in a row for them after they had lost like 30-something in a row. Congratulations to the Falcons on that one.
Big congrats. And Decatur Heritage beat Phillips 19-14. What a close game. And Ardmore taking on West Morgan. Ardmore would end up on top 52-39.
Central Florence beats Colbert County 28-14. And out east, you see this score here. This is not a misprint. Sylvania and Scottsboro played a jamboree, and according to jamboree rules, they weren't going into overtime, so this game ends in a tie. Of course, this doesn't count as a win or a loss because it just does not count. 29-29 was your final score. Now, if you're hungry and you still want to eat something, everyone, head over to our good friends at Jimmy John's. Matt Kritzer and his crew staying open late to fulfill your sub needs or late night needs or whatever it is on that one. So, hey, we are now officially done for First Down Friday Night, Week 0. Week 1 is next now.
Exactly, yeah. My first time in Alabama here for Alabama football, it was amazing. I loved it.
Hey, you did a very, very great job. Also, Kayla Carlisle did a great job, too. Don't forget, you can check us out on the web, rocketcitynow.com. For Charity, Kayla, I'm Mo. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
You've been watching First Down Friday Night, sponsored by Steak and Shake and Kennedy & Sons Structural Solutions.